There are three phases which we all go through in our growth and evolution as souls. We go from the hall of ignorance into the hall of knowledge, and we finally reach the hall of wisdom. The hall of ignorance is a pre-love condition. This is a place that is based on hatred and resentment. This is the place of the false life, the worldly life, the mundane life, where you have outer level goals that dominate. Approval seeking, looking good, acquiring things. This is a place of lies, of manipulations, of dishonesties. This is a place of living a pseudo life. In the hall of ignorance, you would approach your profession and your work with resentment. For example, I hate going to work. I hate my work. Now, this is a place where there is no love. This is a place where you are doing your work in spite of yourself. And thus you don't do good work. You misuse your work. You abuse your work. It becomes just a tool for greedy purposes. In the hall of ignorance, there are no ethics. There is a place and feeling of anxiety and lack of safety. You feel insecure. Self-esteem is impossible in the hall of ignorance. This is a place of capitulation where approval is sought, where you are depersonalized, and also a place where you don't want to be personalized, you don't want to be identified, you don't want to stand up, you don't want to stand out. This is a place of hiding, where you want to do the minimum and get the maximum. This is a cynical approach to life in the hall of ignorance. On one hand, it capitulates. On the other hand, it takes. This is a place that steals by giving as little as possible and trying to get as much as possible. This is a place, too, where you're a bit of a wreck. It seems like you jump from one hot mess to another. This is the hall of ignorance. Now, as you progress, as you yearn for a better state, you are entering the hall of knowledge. Now, this is a passage which is a painful one. The passage between ignorance and knowledge requires effort. It requires a steady dedication. It requires self-confrontation of your lower self. It requires challenging these unethical places in you. It requires challenging your mundane outer level goals. But as you do this, you start to progress, you start to travel to a higher state of being. Eventually, as you go through this hall of knowledge, as you continue to long for a better state, you will eventually reach the hall of wisdom, of oneness, of unity.